Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. It's Helena here, your trainer and assessor for BSBCMM411 Make Presentations. So I just wanted to make this video to go through some core areas of the assessment that you have upcoming in this unit to make sure that we're all across what that assessment will involve, your rights and responsibilities, how to submit, etc. So really important that you watch this video and feel free to take notes throughout as well. So what is a competency-based assessment? Well, you'll either be based as competent, so you'll be assessed as competent or not yet competent. Competent means that you've met the standards needed for this unit through your skills and knowledge, and not yet competent means that you've not yet demonstrated enough evidence for us to deem that you're competent in this unit. So if you are deemed not yet competent, then we will discuss an action plan to get you to that competent status. There is support available. So what happens is for each individual activity within an assessment, you'll be marked as satisfactory or not yet satisfactory, and then this will compile into whether your overall result is competent or not yet competent. So to be deemed competent in this unit, you'll need to provide evidence that you are able to make presentations. So there are 3 components of making presentations, and all of that will be discussed, explained in the unit of competency. So please take a look at the unit of competency, and it's also listed line by line, each of the areas of performance within our LMS, which is our learning management system, being SharePoint, which I know you all have access to. So each of you completing this assessment will be marked against each area of the competency, and your marks are not influenced by your peers. So it's solely about your own skills and knowledge and how you demonstrate that. I'll make sure that after the assessment tasks, you will be contacted to know whether you have been deemed competent or not yet competent. And as I said, there will be support if you are not yet competent. So getting into the actual assessment task, what does it involve? So we have been learning about making presentations, and we will continue to learn up until the assessment through your training. And what that's leading to is 2 components of an assessment task. Component 1 being an asynchronous activity, which we know is something that you'll need to complete outside of class time. And this will be the planning and preparation for the delivery of your 10-minute presentation. Part 2 of the assignment is a synchronous activity, which means that you'll be displaying your skill set within the class time. So you'll be delivering a live online presentation for 10 minutes. So just making sure that the content you choose for this presentation is appropriate and is compliant to how your organisation would present this, adhering to any guidelines that your organisation has to keep it professional. So the asynchronous element of the assessment task is due on the 11th of May at midnight. And the synchronous, being the live online delivery of the presentation, will take place at 7 p.m. on Monday, the 26th of May. As I said, if you could please look through the unit of competency, and we can also unpack this together if needed. We have been going through it in our workshops, but have a look at how your presentation is structured, making sure it's clear, tailored to the audience. Meeting the 10-minute time requirement is very important, and ensuring that your planning documentation is fully completed. Okay, down to your rights and responsibilities. So you do have the right to appeal if you disagree with any assessment decisions. You can do that by contacting the Popwater Program Manager for this unit, which is listed on our LMS website, which is our SharePoint. You do have the right to confidentiality across the assessment results. They will only be seen by our pop water compliance team and my program manager. Everything else will remain confidential. Also keeping in mind that your peers will be watching as well your presentation. So that's also other people that will be exposed to your assessment task. You, of course, have the right to choose whether you would like to undertake the assessment task, both components of the assessment task. I will ask you before your online delivery of the presentation whether you would like to proceed before presenting. We all have a right to a healthy and safe assessment environment. So this includes cyber safety, psychological safety, physical safety, and information security. So you have the right to a safe learning and assessment environment. This means that our expectation is that we have an online environment free from harassment. We obviously are ensuring that there's good cyber safety, that we have a supportive and constructive atmosphere during the presentation to allow psychological safety. And you already know this from my workshops with you all. I like to have fun. I like to keep it light, but always being respectful is our number one priority when we're training to be professionals. And as many of you are already professionals. Taking regular screen breaks ensures physical safety. So if you feel like you're fatiguing or you need to go to the bathroom, please do. Please take a small break, but make sure that you're being respectful to your peers if they're presenting, having your mic off, not causing too much of a scene on your webcam. If you've got other people in the background, blurring your background. And knowing that your digital data and submissions are stored securely within our authorized SharePoint site. So knowing that there's information security and being mindful to be respectful of other participants' information being their own in their presentations. So protecting their information as well. So you have the responsibility to record and compile evidence yourself. As we discussed, one component of this assignment is for you to compile, format and upload your planning evidence to SharePoint by the deadline, as I said, was the 11th by midnight. You must also ensure that any digital assets needed for your live presentation, including the PowerPoint presentation slides or whatever PowerPoint or presentation platform you use, is uploaded to the LMS. So you can do this after you present live online for part 2 of the assessment on the 26th. You have the responsibility to provide proof of identity and submit authentic evidence. So we do have a portal through SharePoint where you've been asked to upload a clear copy of a valid photo ID. So whether that's a driver's license, passport or student card, this allows us to verify that it's you completing the assessment and it's your work. And I know many of you have already uploaded this, so thank you to those who have. If you haven't, this is absolutely necessary before you attend the online assessment evening on the 26th of May. You do have a responsibility to support a healthy, safe and secure online environment for the assessment for yourself and others. So I know we're all very good at this in class. We all are quite good at maintaining professional etiquette, muting microphones when others are presenting, and not interfering through presentations. Of course, as you all know, I like to promote question asking, but ensuring that it's kept to a minimum in the assessment environment. We can always ask questions at the end if you're interested in anyone's content. I know that some people have got some really interesting things to present for this assignment, which I'm quite excited about. When it comes to different candidates' needs, I like to think I'm pretty aware. We do, through the enrollment process, ask for your learning needs, technical needs, digital skill needs, disability needs, foundation skill needs, and we have identified a few. So I've really tried to be intentional, and I'm always being intentional because it's helpful for everybody, to have on our SharePoint different resources available to assist getting us to the best possible assessment result, being competent. So by that, I want to say as well that despite the resources on SharePoint, which are hopefully quite helpful, if not helpful, reach out to me. I can provide extra support. We also do have available for those that are unable to access presentation software, for example, PowerPoint. We've got PowerPoint downloaded on every PC, laptop in our computer rooms at Pop Water Training in the main building. So I can make sure that each of you have access to that. So just reach out to me because I will need your student ID to give you access to that room where you can use one of our computers to access a presentation platform, which I think the only access you'll get is PowerPoint, which is exactly okay. I actually recommend it. It's very simple to use. But some people also like to use Canva, which can be quite appealing. And I believe you can get a free trial for a month if you don't want to come into campus to use PowerPoint slides. Otherwise, you should also have PowerPoint as part of your Microsoft access through Pop Water Training. But I don't want to get things too complicated. Just so you know, you can access that computer lab. You'll just have to send me your ID, email me, and ask for access. I have also allowed for optional 15-minute one-to-one sessions where we can test sharing slides, testing microphones, and checking cameras before the assessment takes place on the 26th. I really do advise that you do this between yourselves, and of course I'm available to test this with you as well, but it's great for us to all be on top of this because we want the assessments to fly by and really get into that flow. So we don't want to be bogged down by technical difficulties, which do naturally occur as well. What else do I have to say? Thank you for bearing with me. It's a lot of little details that we're getting on top of, but definitely necessary to make sure we have a smooth assessment period. I have provided some supports for anyone that may need some extra foundation skill support. So I have provided some scaffolding for how to make presentations. And please note, we're not too bothered by specific grammar details or vocabulary details. I want to see that you're structuring your presentation in a professional manner. I'm not going to get bogged down on small things. Of course, it's good to aim towards correct spelling and grammar, but there is other supports available through SharePoint, and I can also get you an extra support through our LLN support workers who are attached to Pop Water Training. Otherwise, just book in a session with me and we can work through it together as well. That's everything. Please give me a thumbs up after this video to confirm that you have watched it, and I really appreciate you sticking by. It's a lot of information, but it's really good to take note of all those small things because that will get you to that competent result. And we've been working hard to get to that C status, which should soon be upon us in a couple of weeks when we have our assessment night. Okay, ciao.